Tell me something. When was the last time something went wrong in your life? Maybe you lost something. Maybe a plan fell apart. Maybe someone left. And the moment it happened, you felt it, that heavy, sinking feeling. This is bad. This is really bad. But what if it wasn't? What if the worst thing that ever happened to you was actually the first step toward the best thing that ever happened to you? You wouldn't know. Not yet. Not in that moment. And that, right there, is the most important thing nobody ever taught you. This is the story of a Chinese farmer and his one quiet word that changed the way I see everything. There was once a farmer in ancient China. He was not rich, he was not powerful. He had a small piece of land, a simple home, a son he loved deeply, and one horse. That horse was everything. It pulled the plow, it worked the fields. Without it, no harvest. Without harvest, no food. The neighbors knew this. They had seen him work. They respected him. But they also noticed something unusual about this farmer. He was calm. Not the calm of a man with no problems, the calm of a man who had stopped fighting with the idea of problems. There was a quiet in his eyes that most people spend their whole lives searching for, and they were about to see why. One evening, his horse ran away, just like that, gone. The neighbors came to his home, faces full of sympathy, voices full of sadness. "That's too bad," they said. "Your poor man, your only horse, that's terrible." The farmer looked at them gently and said just one word, "Maybe." The neighbors looked at each other. "Maybe? What does maybe mean? Your horse is gone. This is clearly bad." But the farmer just turned back to his work because he understood something the neighbors hadn't learned yet. He understood that the story was not over. The next morning, the farmer's horse came back, but it didn't come back alone. It brought 7 wild horses with it. 7. The neighbors came rushing over, eyes wide with amazement. "That's wonderful. Look at this. 7 horses. You are so lucky." The farmer looked at the 7 horses, then at his neighbors, and said the same word, "Maybe." The neighbors laughed. "What do you mean, maybe? 7 horses. This is clearly good." But the farmer just smiled quietly and went inside, because he knew the story was still not over. The next day, the farmer's son tried to tame one of the wild horses. He climbed onto its back, the horse bucked, the son was thrown and broke his leg. The neighbors came immediately, genuine worry on their faces. "Oh no, that's terrible. Your son, his leg. How will he help you work? How will he recover? This is very bad." The farmer looked at his son resting on the mat, leg wrapped and still, and quietly said, "Maybe." This time the neighbors were frustrated. "How can you say maybe? Your son is hurt. This is clearly bad." But the farmer sat beside his son through the night, calm as still water, and waited, because he knew the story was still not over. The very next day, soldiers came into the village, conscription officers. The emperor needed men for the army. A war was coming. They were taking every young man they could find. They went from house to house, one by one. Sons, brothers, husbands were taken. The neighbors watched in silence and grief. Then the soldiers came to the farmer's home. They saw his son, the broken leg, useless for battle. They moved on. That evening, the neighbors came back, this time quietly, slowly. "Your son, he gets to stay. He is safe. Because of the broken leg, he won't go to war." They paused. "That is wonderful, isn't it?" The farmer looked at them with the same calm eyes, with the same quiet breath, and said, "Maybe." And this time, the neighbors didn't argue because they finally understood. Every single thing they had called bad, the horse running away, had led directly to something good. Every single thing they had called good, 7 horses arriving, had led directly to something bad, and every bad thing led somewhere else again. The chain never stopped.
The story never ended. And here is what hit them, what should hit you too. They had been exhausting themselves, celebrating too hard when things went well, suffering too hard when things went wrong, riding the wave up, drowning in the wave down. All their energy spent labeling, spent deciding this is good, this is bad, this is the best day, this is the worst day. And the farmer had been watching all along, calm, present, free. Not because he didn't feel things, but because he had stopped letting the label decide how much of himself he would give away. Here is what this story is really saying. You are not a judge, and life is not a courtroom. You don't have to decide in the moment whether what happened to you is good or bad, because you don't have enough information yet. The person who didn't get that job got a different one that changed their life. The relationship that ended painfully made space for something real. The failure that felt final turned out to be the exact lesson they needed. You cannot see the full picture from inside the frame. The farmer's one word, maybe, was not laziness, it was not giving up, it was the deepest kind of wisdom. It was the ability to say, I trust that the story is still unfolding. I will not spend my peace on a chapter that hasn't finished yet. Stop calling things disasters before the story ends. Stop calling things blessings before you see where they lead. Just show up, do your work, stay present, and let life finish its sentence before you decide what it means. The Chinese farmer never stopped working. He didn't wait for good luck. He didn't fear bad luck. He just lived, one day, one breath, one moment at a time. And that single word, maybe, was his armor against despair, his shield against false celebration, his anchor in the storm. Think about something in your life right now that feels like a loss, a closed door, a broken plan, a painful ending, and just try, just for today, to hold it gently, not as a disaster, not as a blessing, just as a chapter, one chapter in a story that is still being written. Because maybe, just maybe, the best thing that ever happens to you is already on its way, and it is coming because of exactly this. If this story gave you something to think about, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it today, and subscribe to Simply Motivated channel for more stories that make you stop, breathe, and see differently.